Over what period of time was the album recorded?
About 18 months, I should think. Well, most of it was recorded at once, but there's a couple of tracks that are old on it, really. That's all. About 18 months.
You recorded it in some was in America, wasn't it, and some in the...
Yeah, some was at Muscle Shoals, and some was in London, and some was at my house in the country.
Can we talk a bit about the Mighty Mobile? Whose idea was that?
I don't know. Well, we wanted to build a studio years ago, but we didn't know where to put it. We never know where to put it in London or the country, so we decided in the end to put it in a truck so we could have it wherever we were. It was our idea. But it was a sort of gamble because I didn't know if it was really going to work, you know. Mm. I mean, it might have been a terrible sound and we might have hated it and it might not have ever worked and all that. But it did, you know. It was just quite lucky for us, otherwise we would have been quite in the hole.
Oh, it cost a lot of money?
Yeah, it cost a lot of money, but it was a lot of time and a lot of energy spent on it. But it's working, you know. So I think might build another one now. Might have a go at building a super big American style one.
What other groups have used the Mighty Mobile besides your son?
The Who, and the Led Zeppelin, and Zappa, and a lot of people really. Mm. I can't remember. Loads of big small fads. The Faces.
Yeah, you missed a good concert.
Did I? Where was that?
Roundhouse.
Yeah? Was that the Faces?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I heard you're trying to get some place together in France to record. An
old
cinema.
Yeah, we got a cinema. We got an old cinema. We're thinking of showing movies there on Saturday nights because there's no very good movie houses around there. It's all together to show movies, but we've taken the seats out and we're going to rehearse in there. I don't know if we're going to record in there or not. We'll see. Yeah. We was hoping to record in a farm. We're going to rent a sort of small farmhouse and record in there. Mm. And then we'll probably go and record in Miami.
Can we go through the album, sort of track by track?
Yeah.
Starting, of course, with Brown Sugar.
Yeah. What do you want me to say? I'll go through it track by track.
Well, one question I did want to ask you was, do you split the writing with Keith Richards to sort of vocals or music, or do you write songs separately, or what?
No, we write. No, we write most every combination. Like sometimes he writes things on his own, sometimes I write things on my own, sometimes we write things together, or sometimes I write the words to a song that I was doing. So it's not completely split up. Mm. Sort of. He might write the verse and I might write the chorus. It's sort of, so it's very sort of. There's a couple of songs that we wrote on our own. Do you think it's too much noise?
No,
I think so.
Fine. But there's sort of two different types of music on the album. The sort of things, the wild things like Brown Sugar, and then the sort of slowy bluesier things.
Yeah.
Can you separate you and Keith over those?
No. No, we both. Well, I mean, some of the songs, we wrote on our own, but I mean, a lot of the slow songs we wrote together. I mean, I might say, Keith wrote the melody and the verse, or the melody and the chorus, or I wrote the melody and he wrote the chorus, or whatever. They're all a mixture, apart from one or two which we wrote completely on our own. No, the slow ones were just as much together as the others.
What's your favourite tracks from the LP?
I don't know really. I quite like Wild Horses.
That's mine.
Which one do you like?
Can't Hear Me Knocking.
Can't Hear Me Knocking. Yeah, I quite like that. I like that. And I don't know. I quite like most of them. Moonlight Mile, I quite like that. I like I Got the Blues, they're right. They're quite nice, really. Most of them are right. There's not one that I really dislike. There usually is one that I really don't like particularly.
With Jumping Jack Flash, you sort of came back to your earlier type of music. How much was that sort of an influence of Jimmy Miller, or is it you deciding you wanted to go back to that, and he would be the best guy to produce you doing that?
Yeah, we sort of decided we wanted to get back to that after sort of Satanic Majesties. But I don't know. I don't like sticking to the same thing all the time. I don't want to stick and just play blues and all that all the time. I like doing it, but I like to stretch out a bit more, really. There's a lot of more different things we can do than what we've done on that album.
Yeah.
I feel we limit ourselves a bit within a certain formula, but we quite often try other things and we don't think they come off, so we don't include them on the album. So it's got of funny like that.
Did you I suppose maybe you felt a bit of pressure at that time, when everybody was talking about progression and must sort of get ahead on each album?
Well, no, I suppose it's funny because everyone feels the same around a certain point, everyone, we all wanted to get away from just doing what we were doing at that point, because what we were doing wasn't that great. The albums before weren't that fantastic, weren't the one before that. So we just felt we'd just do what we felt like doing, which was more or less that.
Yeah.
But I think I'd like to stretch out a bit more and try some other things on another album, on a new album. But we'll see.
What, a new Stones album or a new Mick Jagger album?
Well, a new Stones, a new anything really. I don't mind. The first thing we're doing is a new Stones album. That's the first work that we're doing. And after that, if anyone's got time to do their own, maybe we'll have a go. But it depends how many songs I got left after the Stones album.
When do you think, can I sort of tie you down to a time, have you started recording for the new album yet?
No, we're not going to start till the 17th of May. But we've got a lot of writing to do in between then. I don't know, so I shouldn't imagine it will be finished until, well, it won't be out until September, but I hope I have a single out in the summer. But we'll try and finish it off, get it out by September. We should be able to do it pretty quick, I guess. I just feel like I've just woken up. I don't have any sort of answers to anything.
It's all right. How much of from a business point of view, do you want to get involved with the Rolling Stones label?
I'm not really from a business. I don't really want to get involved at all from a business point of view.
But artistically?
I like to listen to things, that people do that they ask us to release or whatever, or go and see a band if they, if they're good or something, or I'll go and produce someone, or maybe, but I don't know. I don't really want to have many artists on the label. And I'd like them all to be good. We might have one or two sort of one-shot records, I think we've got a one-shot Howling Wolf record, that we cut last year and we probably put out, but that'd be the only one, A few things like that I don't mind doing. I'm not gonna get involved in it and try and make it, a very sort of high-powered, high-grossing company. Though if someone else wants to, I don't really mind, as long as they don't bug me too much about it.
You mentioned during this period of being away from England, you were going to, was it Asia and Japan?
Yeah, we'll probably eventually go to Japan this year.
As a group to tour, you mean? Or?
Yeah, as a group to tour. I'd like to go first before we go there to tour, just to suss it out a bit though. But yeah, we'll probably just do Japan, I don't know if this is for Australia, this interview, isn't it? I don't know if we'll go to Australia, I don't know. But because we've been there a lot of times. But we're definitely going to go to Japan.
I hate to ask an awful, I mean, it seems a stupid question. Why do you think you managed to stay together so long as a band?
I really don't know. I mean, I think we're all so lazy, we can't be bothered to do anything else. I mean, I don't think we drive each other too mad, Fortunately, I don't know. It's just a question of a mixture of people, which they either get on each other's nerves or they don't, And though we do get on each other's nerves as much as people do when they're together for a long time, we sort of manage to get on very well, really. And we don't see each other all the time, all day, and we're not always stuck in a car with each other touring. And but on the other hand, we always get together. I mean, I'm always sitting around at Keith's house, and we always get together and play, all the time. I don't know why. It seems an awful long time when people say it's been sort of 108 years, I think, that we've been together. I mean, I know, I can't believe it's ridiculous, because I thought of it as a thing for sort of 2 years, I mean, because most bands don't last very long. Or they go through so many personnel changes you can't even remember. I can't keep up with bands half the time. I find it very hard to keep up with where this guitar player's gone, because he's gone through 3 bands. Well, I don't know. It seems to work at the moment, It may work for a while, I don't know. It seems to be working now.
What are your views sort of on the current musical state of things?
Which in particular, I just go out and see bands and like them or not, I don't really know where they're going, or I don't think they know really either. I just go out and see bands as much as I can, or listen to them. I'm not interested in staying at home listening to old records, But I don't know. It doesn't seem to be. There's no sort of really, really turning me on that I haven't seen before. The people that you really like, are people that are good. Are always going to turn in a good show and everything. But they're not particularly new. Those people. I don't know. For a new band, which one's really knocked me out this year? There's not really one. I don't think. A new band that's really.
Do you think there's a need for a new band?
Well, every year you hope to get about 3 new bands that you've never heard of that you really like, The only new band this year I really liked is Elton John, I suppose, it's not really this year. It was last year, I suppose. But this year, there's nothing particularly that I've heard. But I don't hang around all the time in clubs. But
I heard that there's such a thing as a Brian Jones LP.
Yeah, it's not a Brian Jones LP with Brian Jones singing and playing, unfortunately. It's an album he did, and he recorded in Morocco. It's The Rights of Pan, which I just missed seeing this year. Which is these tribes in northern Morocco in the Rif Mountains, who play these incredible trumpets and chant all day for a sort of fertility rite. And about, I don't know how many years ago, he went and recorded it and came home and electronically doctored it up and sort of fucked around with it. And I think we're going to put that out as soon as possible. It's quite nice. It's sort of very strange.
Do you regret the time when you were off the road for so long?
No, not really, because I was going mad, on the road, because we've been on the road all the time, and I was getting very fed up with it, and I hadn't read a book in sort of 4 years, and I didn't have time to read a book, but it was just the mentality. It was just very unrelaxing, and it never give you a chance to really sort of sit down and wonder where on earth you were doing, running about all that. Once you've done it for sort of 3 or 4 years, That was enough.
So you're happy now, sort of, to do perhaps 1 or maybe 2 tours a year. You're doing another one in England at the beginning of next year, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I don't want to do. I want to try and get a new sort of show together, really, before we do another tour. I mean, you've got to change the show. I mean, we've been doing this same show now for sort of 18 months, 2 years. I mean, the numbers have changed. Protect the Innocent, but the show basically looks the same. So I think we're going to change the look of it and change the way it's done and all that. And
are you happy about the last one you did in England?
well, it was quite nice to do. You know, it was very short and most of the shows were reasonable. And there's 1 or 2 bummers, you know what I mean, that weren't very good. Most of them were very nice. I quite enjoyed doing it. That was all a bit of a rush and sort of, and all that, you know, because we were getting ready to go away, and it all had this sort of funny feeling about it. But it was nice, you know.
Oh yeah. What's your feelings about so many American groups sort of into politics? You know, which is something
Everyone
really...
asked me that question. I got asked that question twice yesterday.
It's something the Rolling Stones, you know, as a band, seems to have avoided, really.
The question of avoiding it. I mean, you know, not many English groups get into politics, you know, and we are an English group.
Yeah.
I mean, people say, oh, man, you're international. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty English at heart. And I'm not an American, and I haven't been there for 2 years. So I don't really... I mean, when I go there, I get all political. You know, if I go and stay there for sort of 3 months, then I can really... at least I can pretend I've got an inkling of what it's all about, you know what I mean? I know what that's all about. But in America, politics is such a sort of constant bombardment that you know, I think you obviously start singing about it. You know, if you live there all the time, I mean, I would, but not living there. I mean, and that English politics being a bit of a, I mean, as far as you can get is sort of Taxman by the Beatles. I mean, you know, I couldn't write about that. English politics, it's too sort of pathetic, and American politics is terrible. You know, is more frightening, I suppose, and that's why you get into it, writing it. Maybe we'll get into writing it after we've been there, but I don't feel it's really my place to write about American politics or Australian.
Great.